Ever wonder if your cat truly loves you, or if they're just putting up with you? In today's video, we're diving into 10 signs your cat doesn't love you. Yes, even if you think they do. Cats can be a bit mysterious, and while they're known for their independent nature, sometimes their behavior can speak louder than their cuddles. So if you've been questioning your cat's feelings, stay tuned. These signs might just surprise you. Welcome to the feline world. If you're passionate about cats and eager to learn more, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. Now, without further ado, let's get started. 1. Aggressive behavior. Aggressive behavior like hissing, scratching, or biting is one of the clearest signs that your cat may not feel affection or comfort with you. While these reactions can be triggered by fear or pain, when your cat reacts aggressively during moments of attention or petting, it's often a sign that they're not enjoying your interaction. Cats that love and trust you are generally calm during close contact, so when they lash out, it's their way of telling you they need space. This behavior can stem from stress or a lack of positive reinforcement in your relationship, and it's important to pay attention to what might be causing them to feel this way. Sometimes, aggressive behavior could be a sign of an unresolved issue, like not respecting their boundaries or overwhelming them with too much attention. To build trust, give your cat the space they need and work on establishing a bond that's built on comfort and mutual respect. 2. Not responding to your voice. If your cat isn't responding when you call them or talk to them, it can hurt a little, right? But here's the thing. Cats are pretty picky when it comes to who they engage with. A cat that's into you will usually glance over, meow, or at least give a little acknowledgement when you talk to them. So if they're ignoring you, it could mean they're just not feeling that connection at the moment. It doesn't always mean they don't like you, but it could be a sign that they're not as attached or tuned into you as you'd expect from a close bond. Sometimes, it's just that they've got their own vibe going on and aren't looking for that interaction right now. They could be more independent, or they've got their own routine that doesn't always include you. No hard feelings. If you want to get their attention, try engaging them through their favorite toys, treats, or even a good old play session. With a little patience, you might just see a change in how they respond to you. 3. Tail flicking. If your cat is flicking their tail, it's more than just a cute little wiggle. It's a sign that something's bothering them. Tail flicking usually happens when a cat is feeling irritated or overstimulated, and this behavior can indicate that they're not in the mood for affection. If you try to pet them during a tail flicking session, you might find yourself getting a swat instead. So if your cat's tail is flicking, take it as a cue to give them some time to cool off and respect their boundaries. It might even help strengthen your bond when you do approach them again. 4. Avoiding eye contact. You might be thinking your cat is always looking at you, but here's the thing. Cats use eye contact to communicate. And when they turn away or refuse to look directly at you, it could be a sign they're not feeling that close bond. In the wild, cats avoid eye contact with strangers or threats. And if your cat's doing the same with you, they might be signaling that they need space or aren't fully comfortable with you in that moment. But don't panic just yet. While avoiding eye contact can suggest a lack of closeness, it's not always a rejection. Cats are independent creatures, and sometimes they just want their own time or a little distance. That being said, if eye contact is consistently avoided and your cat is also showing other signs of detachment, it might be a good idea to pay attention to their boundaries and give them some space to feel secure in the relationship. 5. Backs away from you. If your cat consistently backs away when you try to cuddle or offer affection, it's a pretty clear signal that they're not feeling the love in that moment. Cats that are comfortable with you will often seek out your attention, curling up next to you or even climbing onto your lap. But when they pull away or seem to actively avoid you, it could be a sign they're not emotionally ready to bond or that they're feeling a little distant. This behavior can be frustrating, especially if you're looking for some connection, but it's important to remember that cats have their own boundaries. 6. Excessive grooming. Excessive grooming is a behavior that can often be linked to stress or anxiety in cats. While it's normal for cats to groom themselves, When your feline friend is constantly licking, biting, or scratching, it might be a sign they're feeling emotionally neglected. Cats use grooming as a way to self-soothe, and if they're spending an abnormal amount of time on it, they might be trying to cope with feelings of frustration or loneliness. Instead of showing affection toward you, they might be focusing their energy inward, indicating something's wrong with the bond between you. It's also important to note that excessive grooming can lead to bald spots or skin irritation, which can cause further stress for your cat. To prevent this, make sure to provide your cat with enough attention, playtime, and a stable environment, and consider a vet checkup to rule out any underlying health issues. 7. Excessive scratching. When your cat scratches more frequently than usual, it's not always about maintaining their claws. It could be a sign that something's off in your relationship with them. Excessive scratching often happens when a cat feels stressed, anxious, or frustrated. If they're digging into furniture or other objects, it could be their way of signaling that something's off in their world. This behavior might indicate they need more attention, a change in their routine, or that something in their environment is making them uncomfortable. 8. Litter box issues. Litter box issues are one of the most noticeable signs that your cat may not be feeling the love. If your cat is suddenly avoiding their litter box or having accidents outside of it, it could be a way of expressing stress or dissatisfaction with their environment. While it could be a sign of health problems, it also points to emotional distress, like feeling neglected or unhappy with changes in their routine. Cats are creatures of habit, and if they're not comfortable, they'll make sure you know. This behavior isn't just inconvenient to you, it's a clear indication that your cat might not feel safe or connected to their space. Cats use their litter box as a private place, and if they're avoiding it, it might be signaling that something's off with the bond you share or the environment you've created. It's important to address any litter box issues immediately and consider any changes in your home, like a new pet or a disrupted routine, could be making your cat feel unsettled. 9. Not following you around. If your cat isn't following you around or showing curiosity about what you're up to, it could be a sign they're not as emotionally connected to you as you'd hope. Cats that are bonded with their owners often follow them from room to room, seeking companionship and staying engaged with their activities. When your cat doesn't show this interest, it may indicate a lack of attachment or trust. While some cats are naturally independent, a consistent disinterest in your presence could suggest they're not as emotionally invested in you as you might think. 10. No kneading or purring. When a cat kneads or purrs, they're basically giving you an affectionate hug in their own unique way. These behaviors are typically signs of comfort and trust, so if your cat never does them around you, it might mean they don't feel fully bonded. Cats reserve these gestures for people they're truly close to. If your cat doesn't knead your lap or purr when you pet them, it could be their way of saying they're not quite as emotionally attached as you might hope. While some cats are just naturally more reserved and might not knead or purr as often, consistent lack of these behaviors could be a sign that they're not fully comfortable or affectionate. This might happen if they've had a rough start with humans, or if they're simply not getting the social interaction they crave. It's not necessarily that they don't love you, but more that they might be holding back or just not in a place where they feel like showing their soft side. So there you have it. 10 signs that your cat might not be feeling the love, even if you're doing everything right. Remember, cats are complex creatures, and sometimes their actions don't always reflect their true feelings. If you've noticed any of these signs, it might just mean your cat needs some space. Or maybe they're not in the mood for cuddles today. But with patience, understanding, and a little extra TLC, you can always build a stronger bond. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button if you've learned something new. Make sure to subscribe for more tips on how to better connect with your furry friends. Has your cat ever done something that made you think they weren't feeling the love? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to share it with your friends who might be in the same boat with their cats. We'll see you in the next video.